Welcome back, boys and girls. Our next guest is a familiar face, the first returning guest to Mr. Mortgage's neighborhood. We have the networking champion of South Jersey, Tyler Ardron. Tyler, welcome back to Mr. Mortgage's neighborhood.
Mr. Mortgage, thanks for making me the first returning person.
I figured it had to be you. You know, as many things as you do for the area with your networking events and all the stuff that you do, it had to be you coming back for the second time.
I appreciate it, man.
So before we start to get into a bunch of stuff, give a little bit of a promotion of the things that you're doing for networking, and you really take time to try and involve a bunch of other people. So let's talk a little bit about the things that you're doing as networking events for other professionals in the South Jersey area.
Yeah. So with networking, you know, my goal is to bring people together, help grow their businesses, and in return, you know, hopefully I grow with them with my business. So yeah, I'm doing a ton of different stuff in the area. I was just earlier on a Chamber of Commerce, just like a speed networking type of call. But then, you know, along with the Chamber of Commerce's, which I'm in about 4 of them, up here in South Jersey, down on the coast, just because we have that specialty flood insurance. And then I also have a bunch of different groups that I kind of run. I do one in Cherry Hill that's actually returning in September. I took the month off with August on these events just because there was a lot of people on vacations and stuff, and I wanted to create a little more, hype around it. So I got one in Cherry Hill that's coming up in September, and that is more of a laid-back networking. We call it coffee networking. The goal is just to, same kind of motto, bring people together, but in a laid-back environment. Everyone kind of is invited, so you know you might be a realtor, there might be another realtor there, or vice versa for like a title or even insurance like myself, because there's more than enough business out there. And like I said, I just want to try to connect people that are in my network. And then I got one in Gloucester County, same type of idea, just obviously at a different location, right outside of my office, close to my home and everything. So all my Gloucester County peeps, I have that down there. That's in September as well. I'm in an awesome B&I group with Jim. Mr. Mortgage is in it. So,
In case they didn't know.
Yeah. So that group's been awesome. I know there's a little stigma around B&I, but I've been in it now probably 5 years, or maybe 6. But anyway, I've been in it a while, and what I learned with it is it's all about like who you surround yourself with. So, you know, this past year, COVID, we kind of had like a cleanse because we weren't meeting in person. And if you are familiar with BNI, it's a weekly thing. So we weren't meeting in person. Some people that were in the group didn't really like that whole Zoom thing. Whereas like I kind of adapted, and many of us adapted through COVID, and you know we took on that Zoom. Those that didn't, you know, kind of dropped out of the group. It was a great thing to happen though, because it kind of cleansed the group, and then coming out of COVID, we were able to grow it with people that, you know, all have the same goals. They all want to grow their business. They all want to be successful. They all network a ton. They all know a ton of people. They all do a ton of business as it is. Like I said, Mr. Mortgage is in there. We got an awesome realtor who's also been on the show before. Many, I think, the professionals in that group have been on the show. But like I said, it's different than the normal BNI. BNI gives us that framework, and then we're the ones who kind of run that group, make that group what it is. And we're actually the #1 ranked chapter in the South Jersey region, and that includes Delaware as well, and Pennsylvania. So yeah, I got that group. That's kind of the anchor with a lot of my groups. I kind of funnel all the other groups into that group. And then I'm in a lot of like association type stuff, realtor associations. I'm on the Nexus Board of Realtors. I'm on a YPN group with one of the chambers, and then also with another association in Ocean County. And then just random other stuff like related to flood. But yeah, I think that's about it.
Okay. And what do you think, what percentage of your overall business comes from your networking efforts?
Yeah, I'd say about, I mean, if we don't count, because I track every single sale, I track back to where it came from, because networking you can go the path of not working.
Yeah.
So you gotta track where everything's coming from to know where you should be spending your time. If I include, say, current client referrals, because these clients originally came from networking,
Sure.
90% is from my referrals. It's all referral based, and I include like even just networking, say with family or whatever.
Sure.
But that probably 90, maybe even 95%, and then that other 10% just from like marketing efforts, stuff like that. But the majority is from referrals, warm leads. I don't do any cold calls, which is kind of crazy. But we don't do any cold calls. It's all referral based. So yeah, no, it's been great, and just working with referrals, it's just so much better because I'm not like competing a ton with price. Granted, I usually end the best price, but I'm not like, I've done cold calls when I first opened up, and it's like, me and 10 other agents are calling, and we're all sending the same quotes because really we're brokers. We have all the same companies. So it's like whoever pested this person the most got that business probably. Whereas this is like, hey, talk to my guy Tyler, hook you up. I come in with the best coverage, best price, whatever. They're good with it. It's an easy sale. So my close ratio that we track is upwards of 80%.
Nice. Now, have you always been that person, or is this something that's been like a gradual morphing into a networking beast? You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, in the beginning, I started my company when I was 22, like others that have been on the show, Fred and stuff. Mm-hmm. But when you're that age, I didn't have like a harvest group that we're in, right? So I kind of had to learn on my own. And being younger, it's tough to walk into a room with, other, say 40, 50, people that are 30 years older than you. Right. It's pretty tough. But another like way that we sell my company is through education, which is so my insurance company is a subsidiary of another company. That company sells primarily through education, like CE classes, stuff like that. So we took that kind of model too. And why I'm saying that is because I would be in front of a room of 50, 100, and I still do this monthly, of 50 to almost 300 people. That got me good at like being able to just meet people and talk to them. Mm-hmm. So in the beginning, I kind of built my network, chambers. I would go to everything. And then the last, so it was pre-COVID is really when I started doing this. I'd say, so I guess 2019 is when I really kicked on, like, I'm going to start doing my own stuff. I was confident enough that I built up, a sizable network that I can do that. So then I started doing that. COVID obviously happened, and then we came back out of COVID, and, I'm just like, I just had the confidence that I could do it. I just kind of run with it myself.
And you do a bunch of stuff. Like you do basketball networking meetings, you do coffee, you participate with like you did some like cars and motor ice or something like that.
Yeah.
You go all over the place. So
golf, stuff like that.
Golf. What would you tell somebody who's newer in the business? I don't want to say young because they could be 20 or they could be 40 and they could be newer to the business. What would your first bit of advice be to someone who's like, I would like to do that, but I really don't know what to do? What would the first couple things you tell them to do? Yeah,
I think the biggest thing that I've learned over the years is like, and why I do those types of things is like, be authentic. If I came on here, or if I came in here, with a suit on, no glasses, not messing around with the belt, and I was just, yeah, Jim, the rates, we got hit hard last year with storms, so rates have increased this much %. You're like, dude, I don't care. Right. To be honest. But I try to be authentic, and I try to talk about things that I like, and see, if that's like a common connection with someone. So like when I'm doing a one-to-one and I meet somebody, oh, what do you like to do in your free time? You like to golf? I guess I'm fortunate that I'm intrigued by a lot of different things. So normally, like, I can easily connect with someone, whether it's someone talking about stocks, opening business, sports, like kind of whatever, cars. I can kind of go off of that. And then, I do these different networking things like the cars and coffee, basketball, stuff like that, because it does intrigue me. Now I know, and I have a CRM system that does help with this. I don't remember this off the top of my head, but I meet somebody, I write in like what they kind of like, golf, this, whatever. Mm-hmm. So then when I have golf coming up, or if want to do a Topgolf event, I search that, and then, I know you like golf, you want to come, or basketball. Oh, you want to come play basketball? But I think the biggest thing is just being like a normal person, being authentic.
Okay. Now, has there been somebody that you've targeted to market to or to network with that you've been unsuccessful at getting their attention or getting their business? You don't have to tell me who it is, but because I know there's a couple people that I've been unsuccessful with, and they bug me way more than the ones that you kicked ass at and you were the best at. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 1,000%. There's, we won't name names, and there's. I'd say there's more than you would think, right? I mean, right. Especially when you're doing so many different events and talking to so many people. I mean, I'm talking to probably hundreds of people a week, counting clients and stuff. So, I'm going, probably half of the people are like, I don't talk to really that much off of that. But I can easily get along with people, so that helps. So there's two different cases. One, when you were talking, story came right to my mind. I had this big opportunity with this realtor who does a ton of business down on one of the islands. Like, they're very well known down the islands. Call them, trying to set up a meeting forever. Finally, the guy's like, all right, come in this day at this time, and we'll talk. I'm like, all right, so I get there, get in the office. I'm always early, get there early. And I see him walk by, and he doesn't even look at me, just like walks past like that, and I go. And I know what he looks like because, like I said, he's well known. Yeah. So I say, his name. And he looks at me, and he's like, kind of gives me like not even a friendly face, like what the hell is this guy doing in my office face? Okay. And I say, it's blah, blah, blah. And he still acts like he doesn't know me. I go, remember you told me to come in? And he goes, oh, yeah. Well, I got a closing that just came up. I'll give you 2 minutes. So he brings me back into his conference room and just gives me 2 minutes to and that's not my thing. Like I was telling you, I'm being authentic. Yeah. My thing is to sit down with you for 20 minutes and figure out what you like.
Can't do relationship selling in 2 minutes.
No, so I'm like, girl, this is what we do. We specialize in flood insurance. And since then, I called him. He never called me back, and I've never got in touch with him. Oh. And so that's the first one. Second model, and this one's more common. Like I said, I easily can get along with people. So I get along with this person. These types of people, and I try to grow their network and all that good stuff. Then months go by, I don't see any business coming over, so I do because like I said, you can't be just not working, so you got to sometimes ask for the business. Like, I've been trying to set you up for blah 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 this many months. I would appreciate if you just put me on your list. I don't care. You don't need to send me all your business, but I know you're sending business somewhere. Right. Send me a few.
Throw me one.
Yeah. And then they don't. Right. But then you see them at events, and every time you see these people, oh hey, how you doing? Blah blah blah. And it's like, all right, dude. I don't need...
stop coming to my... If
you're come on,
you
dude.
can only be nice for so long.
Yeah. So I'm like, all right. And then I just kind of, I let them come, but I just ignore them.
Yeah. Have you had any times where you met someone and you did your spiel and you thought you killed it, and then later on you found out that it wasn't what you thought it was?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah, especially with doing presentations and stuff. I'll go into an office that is a well-known office, and I'm like, dude, I just crushed that presentation. People are asking me questions. Yeah. This realtor's like, I got a listing. Can you give me a quote? I'm like, oh yeah. And then I get back, send the quote, no answer. I'm like, what the heck happened? So it's definitely happened.
Nice. So what do you think is the number one mistake that people make when they're trying to network and get their name out there?
Yeah, it's definitely, and for whatever reason, this is well known in this industry, and I'd say probably financial advisors. And what it is right when you meet with them, say for a one-to-one, they're trying to dig into your finances.
Right.
It's like, dude, this is the first time we're meeting. I'm trying to see what you're about. You're trying to see what I'm about. I'm trying to see how I can help your business. That doesn't mean I'm just going to give you all my money.
Right. Yeah.
Like right now. And the ones that don't do that, they definitely set themselves apart. And I say like Sean, our buddy who's been on this, he's definitely more of a people, person first. But for whatever reason, like in that industry, I get hounded, especially for whatever reason. I think with me because I don't sell life insurance. So when someone sees me, they're like, oh, this guy's like a gold mine for his clients.
Golden goose.
But they're also trying to like sell me, and it's just like, it's not a good look. So I'd say don't go in like selling that first meeting. Like you definitely want to do it at some point or ask for the referral at some point, but you got to let the relationship build. Like when I can't go into a meeting at first and just, give you all my money.
Yeah. I often wonder, and I've had this discussion with a couple technical salespeople that I'm friends with, but I often wonder if I don't push sales enough because I'm not a salesy person. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I was talking to a realtor today at Topgolf when I was there, and we were talking about different things, and I was like, well, you know what I do and I know what you do. So for me to get into a pitch about doing mortgages with me,
or my rates,
kind of a waste of time. You know what I mean? Like I want to be friends with you. Most times my experience has been you do business with the people that you like.
Yep.
And I can have the greatest personality in the world. I can have the greatest service in the world. But if you don't like me, you're not going to want to refer your friends and family because referrals are gold. We talk about that in BNI all the time. Yep. If I give someone to you, I'm basically being vulnerable. I'm putting the trust and the care of my people into you, you know? And the worst call you can ever get in your life as someone who refers people is, what's up with your boy? I called him. He said he was going to call me back, and he didn't. It's 2 days. I called him twice. He didn't respond. Like, that's horrible,
Awful.
So I often wonder, I talk to some people, and I have been critiqued in my career by people like, you're too nice. You're not salesy enough. You don't ask for the sale enough. And I'm like, I don't know. That's not really it's not really my style. I will ask for it. I will, like you said, after a while, if someone's doing 15 different things, I'll say, if I take you to Topgolf 4 times and you haven't given me a deal, I mean, come on. What are you going to do?
Right.
We can be friends, you know what I mean? But you pay half, I pay half. We go Dutch, you know what I mean? Like, I'm cool with hanging out. We can go to a movie. You pay for your ticket, I go pay for my ticket. We can be boys. But, there's only so much business you can do without it being fruitful for the other person.
Right.
What are some of your goals coming up for the next 12 to 24 months? What are some things that are going to happen that we're going to see? Tyler Ardron, risk reduction plus, little tongue twister there. What are we going to see happen where when I see it, I'm like, damn, Tyler talked about that on my show.
Yeah, okay. That's a good one. So it's, I'd say from a business standpoint, it's to continue to grow the book of business, retain our clients at the rate that we've been. I'm very proud of our retention rate. In insurance, retention's everything. So we don't make a ton of money on a sale, but every time that person renews, that's where we're making our money. So retention is key, and that comes with a strong customer service. When you call my office, you're going to get a customer service rep within 2 rings. So that's critical. So I want to make sure that we're retaining our clients. About 6 to 10% more than industry average, and that's what we've been running at. And then also to continue to grow new business. I want to be over a $2 million book. Right now, from a premium standpoint, we're above $5 million. So we've only been in business 8 years. So continue to grow that book of business. From a personal standpoint, continue to just grow with my family, I'd say. I have 3 kids, boys, so I guess in 2 years, my one son will be in kindergarten and starting sports and all that fun stuff. So really, I want to really be at a point in 2 years to where I don't have to be doing 20 million networking events.
Right.
Not that I want to continue to grow business, but I could kind of step out of that a little bit, especially like night events and stuff like that, to be at all my kids' sporting events. And then I want to get a vacation house. My wife's been talking about it a ton. Thinking maybe like Poconos.
Okay.
We're big into the Poconos, like the woods and lake and stuff like that.
For personal use or for investment purposes, or a little bit
I
of both?
lean towards Airbnb, and also kind of use it a little bit. She, no one's living in my house, kind of thing.
Right.
But as me as the entrepreneur investor, I already have
Same thing.
Yeah, I'm like Airbnb, and so that's a battle. We'll see who wins. To be honest,
We know who's going to win.
Yeah.
Come on.
So we got.
We're both married. We know who's going to win.
So we'll see. We'll see. And then I'd say, other than that, I do want an older sports car.
Okay.
That's something that I
What
always
kind?
look at.
Give me some.
I don't know, man.
You
I
talking
like
old Corvette? You talking like 68 Trans Am?
I like older vets, but I don't like really old vets, like 70s. Like, for whatever reason, I was born in the 90s, and and they're not even expensive. Like,
right.
I could just get it, but I'm kind of I want to make sure I want like what I get. I really want. I do like the early 90s C4 Corvettes. Like I said, they're not expensive, but it just reminds me of like being a kid and seeing like a stock trader, like in a red, like freaking 95
like Huey
brand new
Lewis video. Or
yeah,
something
like it just
that.
reminds me of that type of stuff. So like I see that. I like the 68 to like 70 Mustangs. They're super expensive, but this is a dream. So
Sure.
I like them a lot. And then I also like the like 90s Porsche Boxsters.
Okay.
So like I'm all over the place with like the muscle, and then the exports and stuff. I like old BMW Z4s too, like 2003s.
Okay.
Because again, that reminds me of
That's
like
the two-seater?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
and it reminds me of like if you remember James Bond back then. That's what one of the movies he had that, and for whatever reason that stuck with me. So that I like that too.
I like it.
Yeah, I'd say that, and I probably got 1,000 other things too, but we'll stop at that. I'd say.
Nice. Awesome. All right, Tyler. Thank you so much for coming in.
Mr. Mortgage,
Awesome,
it's been a pleasure,
awesome
man.
show. I will see you next week at the BNI. And if anybody out there is in business and is interested in growing your network, you want to contact Tyler, find out what he's got going on. You can come to the BNI or one of the events that we have. He holds them all the time, depending on what county you're in. Something be better for you. Come out and say hi and join in one of the events.
Awesome.
Awesome. We'll be right back with the next guest on Mr. Mortgage's Neighborhood.